What's your advice to someone who is lost?
The opposite of addiction is connection, and I could never do this thing on my own.
I've been working since I was a kid. I just gotta keep my head.
That you're responsible for and that your name's attached to, do you feel like that gave you that responsibility to be better than you were?
That's when it all began. I don't need a rollie on my.
When you believe in yourself a little bit, you'd be surprised what could happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today I have a Philly icon, a Philly legend, Robert Dunphy. What's up, big dog? How you doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing?
Good to see you again, bro. Good to see you. How was your 30th?
It was a great time.
Good time.
I wish I had a better DJ, but
that shit was fun. You guys are turning it up, man. It was so funny. You were like, so I did Rob's surprise 30th. That shit was a good time. Your girl did a great job setting that up, coordinating that. Were you surprised?
So I can't say I was fully surprised because, so look, going in, like leaving the crib, I live around the corner.
Yeah.
Leaving the house, I had no idea. I literally thought I was going to my boy's like mixed gender or baptism or something. I was like, why am I even going? Like I was like, I can't, like, he's lucky I like him.
Yeah.
And that's what I told him. Like, bro, you're lucky I like you. That's what I thought I was coming for. But
yeah,
we get there. It's around the corner, but I took a different way than she thought I was gonna go. So, I see my boy's truck, and he's a contractor. So I'm like, all right, maybe he's looking at a job. Really didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, because it was the same truck, and he got like it's limited, got all the extras. So I'm like, all right, that might be him. Then I seen another car. My cousin, she has a custom paint job. She's the only custom this color paint job in the city.
Yeah.
On the exact car, and I'm like, all right, I see what's going on here. And I just started laughing, and Tower was just like, Tower's my wife. She's like, what are you laughing at? And I'm like, nothing. I'm like, we're walking in. I'm like, look, I had no idea, but I'm going to just play it off. And she didn't say a word, so we just kept walking.
That's funny.
But yeah, I was shocked up until like the minute before I walked in.
And you ended up having a good night, right? I mean,
we had a great night.
It was awesome. Your friends get rowdy, bro.
Yeah, they got it in. They got it in.
But like I said, it was a good time, and like it was so funny because when it was like towards the end of like the last hour, you're like, because I was trying to play music for everyone.
I know you're gonna say.
You were like, yo, let's make this shit ratchet.
Yeah. I was like, I want everyone in here like to be uncomfortable. And it's funny because my grandma was like, he was good at first, and then towards the end, like no one could dance to that stuff. And I'm like, that's what I asked for, Graham.
The one
KB made it in.
the one lady was like, she kept looking. She's like, one white song, one. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, when's your birthday? I was like, you can hire me for that, and I'll play all the white songs you want.
All the white songs in the world.
I had to play the King Vons, and I had to do it for, So obviously, I'm sure you told your story a lot, but like how everything kind of came together. But I'm like genuinely curious, and like for the people listening, like and watching, like in a short condensed story, how did this come about? Like how did this like whole process start, and like getting to where you're at?
All right, so I go to road games. It's something I always did once a year at least. Try to go with the boys.
Right.
I'm in Green Bay. We drove there. It's a Thursday night game. We're out there. You see me, all the boys get fired up. We were drunk, having a great time. Phone was dead. We go into the game. You know what? It didn't die right away. I got a couple videos, and then my phone died. Everyone I'm with's like, dude, you're all over everything. Like Barstool, TMZ, like everything. They're like, dude, you're everywhere. Fox. So, random people at halftime are coming up to me like, yo, can we get a picture? Dude, you're on Barstool.
Is it coming because of your stomach?
Yeah.
Your tap?
My picture just went viral everywhere.
Oh, really?
And I had no idea because my phone's dead, so I don't see nothing. And everyone's like treating me like I'm like some like person.
Yeah.
Like, and so I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. We can take a picture. So, people were interviewing me at halftime, asking me my prediction. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
So, at the end of the game, everyone wanted a picture again. There's a line up the steps.
Yeah.
I had to put my shirt on just to leave the stadium.
Really?
Like people were stopping me. I'm like, bro, this is insane. Like, how viral did I really go? So there's not really much to do in Green Bay after the game. Like there's like one spot, like, and we were beat, bro, because we tailgated. We were all trash. It's like 12:30, maybe 1.
Yeah.
We chalked it. Like we just went home. So I turn my phone on, bro. I had like 1,300 messages. I'm literally not even joking.
Really?
I was tagged on everything. I couldn't even like go on my phone like
Just a
it just kept dinging. So I just like called my girl, like we talked, and I just put the phone down. I'm like, I'll just check this shit in the morning. And I woke up to like 1,400 texts, like
that's wild.
A couple hundred missed calls.
People saying they've seen you. And
yeah, like dude, you're everywhere. They're sending me. Everyone sent me the same thing.
Yeah,
and everyone still does. Like I get tagged in the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like I get it. Like everyone's just happy for me.
Yeah,
showing love. It's still cool and all, but like
yeah. And so you how long ago was this?
See, I always get the years mixed up. I want to say it was 2019.
Oh, so very recent.
So yeah, it hasn't been like a long time. Like I'm still fairly kind of new.
Right.
It seems like forever, but it's not really.
Right. Yeah.
Especially with COVID, like really was like right in the middle of like, when I was starting to like make some moves, and it just killed everything.
Yeah, dude, COVID was a complete switch for everyone.
Yeah.
So I want to get into the origin of like getting your stomach tatted. Like that's got to be a whole like thought process behind that, because like what went into like being like, oh, I'm just gonna get my stomach tatted. Like
so, I wanted my stomach and chest tattooed of all stuff that like it's Philly to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went to my tattoo artist pretty much with the idea. I'm like, look, he's like, where do you want everything? I'm like, you're the artist, bro. I trust you. I'm here for a reason. Like, that's your job.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks later, he goes, it was my appointment. He's like, I got an outline for you. I had an all day appointment, 8 hours. 6.5 hours, he outlined my whole entire stomach and my chest.
Wow.
And we get there and he's like, you like the placement of the Fanatic? He goes, that's going to go right over your belly button. And I'm like, let's get it. Let's do it.
That's perfect.
And the only thing he did say was, he goes, dude, one day this might be in like a magazine or something, but we never thought like it could take off and be like what it is now.
Well,
like,
yeah, because you became what would you? So if people are asking who Rob Dunphy is, like, what do you consider yourself? Like an influencer? Like, what do you like? What would you?
I guess now, so at first it was hard for me like to really like label myself. I mean,
yeah,
I guess like just being humble about it. Like,
yeah, you never.
But I guess really like, I guess I would say I'm kind of like at this point, I'm definitely an influencer. I definitely do like, I guess an influencer.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and like, would you consider yourself like one of the top like Philly fans? Like, would you just say like, because like by default, like having committed your body to it.
Yeah, I mean it's
like
I think it's safe to say and safe to not sound cocky at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up there.
So
I'm up there.
Yeah,
you haven't seen it yet. I'm sure we'll do something eventually down at the tailgates or something.
Yeah.
But bro, you would literally think I'm like Jalen Hurts.
Really?
I'm not even joking.
That's
like I take my shirt off and everyone's like,
yeah,
it's him. Like little kids are like, bro, you're my idol, and I'm just sitting there thinking like,
why?
Dude, I'm not your idol. Like,
do you so like sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but like as like you are starting to like take this responsibility on as like someone who has some sort of influence in the city, like do you look at yourself as someone who like wants to be like looked up to, like I know because it sounds like a lot of things kind of happen for you at once.
Mm-hmm. And
so like balancing that with your everyday life, do you feel like you're someone that like should be looked up to? Like
that's a hard question. I mean, obviously I have 2 kids, so I want them I gotta be a role model for them in that sense. But then it's like social media is like a time for you to fall back from being a parent and be yourself. And I'm just like, I'm an outgoing person. I love to have fun. I love to talk shit. I like to just bust balls.
You're a Philly guy through and through.
Yeah. So on there, like people might look like a role model.
I guess I could rephrase it.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to really. It's a really tough question. I don't really know how to.
I think you're unapologetically yourself. I think people can look up to that, and the people can see that. And respect that.
I'm gonna be who I am regardless. If you don't like me, then I really don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like people are like, oh, people are on here dogging you in these comments. I'm like, dude, if I cared, I would have never took my shirt off in the first place.
Right, exactly.
I do not care what anyone says. Exactly. I really don't.
Yeah, and wait,
I'm gonna be me regardless.
Exactly, and and the real recognize is real too. Like if you're authentically yourself, you're gonna attract that energy. You're gonna attract those people. When did you get your stomach tatted? So
it started, and I think I found a picture on my Facebook, either 2015 or 2016. I can pull it up real quick. Because it was. I'll show you the picture too.
the iconic picture.
Yeah, well, not the one that sent me viral. It's so I'm banged up in this picture, but it's funny. My girl hates this picture. She's like, "You look like somebody that does drugs."
Were you with her during that? Like when
2016.
Let me see. Oh wow.
7 years ago.
And this is the outline.
This is like when I started it, pretty much.
You're like a sauced up.
Dude.
What's up? Oh, the camera? I can put it in the edit too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'll send that to you.
I want to know how we got to this point, but Drake put you on his story on Instagram. You were dialed in, like
Shout
you
out
said.
Drake.
Yeah, yo. Do you even know why that even happened?
No, and I've got that question, and I've sat there with
That's
my
hilarious.
boys, and we're sitting there like, bro, like, what is it? And we don't know.
It happened the day of your party too.
Yeah.
I was saying what's up to you, and you're like, "Yo, did you see that was on Drake's story?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking insane. Like, what?
Nuts.
That's wild."
Random people are like, were coming up to me. Like, I've been golfing lately, and they're like, people on the course are like, yo, bro, you see Drake posting and all? I'm like, yeah, dude, I've seen it. Like, it's
That's pretty
nuts.
cool. Yeah, are you going to the concert?
So it's funny you asked that. My boys like been begging me, and everyone's like telling me, like, dude, I feel like you gotta go, which it makes sense. I feel like I do gotta go. I don't have tickets yet, but I just looked now, and I'm gonna talk to my wife when I get home, see if she wants to go, and I'm probably gonna
That'd be
wind
fun.
up going
Do you know what day you're gonna go?
tomorrow.
So Monday. Got it. Okay. Yeah.
So he's here Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. I mean, the concert looks insane.
Yeah,
It looks sick.
My buddy was just telling me, like the whole lineup, pretty much what he got. Like not his lineup, all the stuff he's got in the background.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, it's gonna be fire.
It's cool. That's exciting. So like when it comes to like I like to mark the 2019 as like the start of Dunphy 215. Like once that happened for you and you were starting to get all this love, what kind of opportunities were coming your way? Because I can imagine you are a very marketable person, and like, so what kind of opportunities were coming your way during that time?
So at first, just news outlets were hitting me up, pretty much wanting to do stories on me, and everyone's like, dude, charge them. And I'm like, I don't want to charge people, then people back off, and I blow my shot.
Yeah.
So I just did everything for free, pretty much right from the rip. I was going on podcasts. I was putting in the work. It was during Eagle season. It was early, so I was going on all the tailgates, taking pictures of everybody. Yo, tag me. I'll share it. Whatever. Just trying to sound cool. Like, I'll share it for you. Is like if it makes you happy, like whatever. Just tag me.
Yeah.
Tag me. I was taking pictures with everybody, and that's kind of how I got all my followers. My goal was to get to 10K because I want that swipe up thing. I'm like, if I get 10K, then companies will want me because I can.
Right.
That's
a threshold for a lot of companies to want to work with someone is 10K.
Yeah, so that was like my goal, and I know nothing about like social media.
Yeah.
I'm really not like a social media dude at all. So yeah, that was my goal. But a couple months after that, Parks Casino reached out to me.
Yeah,
and they were like, "We got opportunity for you. We kind of want to do something like Barstool kind of does. Like you just be." They were like an influencer. I'm like, I don't even know what an influencer is.
Yeah,
like, I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, but yeah, I'm pretty outgoing. I feel like I can handle this. So at first it was just me and one of the bigwigs, and I'm like, like he was recording me. I'm like, we gotta get a camera guy in here or something.
Yeah.
Like, so the camera guy, they got a camera guy, and he's still there. It's my boy Matt Alba.
Yeah.
We do a bunch of shit, and but yeah, I'm still with Parks. Parks showed me love ever since.
Yeah.
So shout out Parks.
Yes, you do a lot of collabs with them. And let me ask the golden question: if this thing didn't like happen for you, what would you be doing? Because like you do this full time, right?
Yeah. Now I took a step back from what I was doing full time, and I was driving a tow truck.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. My goal was always to get enough money to get into real estate, and that was always end game for me. Just get into real estate, flip houses, then rent houses, and live off the income coming in. That was always end game, but I don't know where I'd be. I'm happy, thankful for everything that's happened, and I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, hell yeah. And so you're a family guy.
Yeah.
Right. So like, you have 2 daughters.
I have a son and a daughter.
Son and a daughter, right? Your daughter loves requests. She has a lot of requests for me, so I made sure I got them on.
Big into music. It's pretty crazy.
I love it. I love it. Would you consider them like? How important would you consider family to you? Because I know you have your career and everything, but like family to you, how important would you consider that?
It's everything, honestly, and I could still do what I do pretty much full time. It's full time, but it's like I got my life back now. Like I left that job because I'm in a spot where I make enough money to take care of my family. We're good. I could do things I want, but now I don't got to miss any event. Like I don't got to miss my son's t-ball practice. I don't got to miss my daughter's anything. I can be there all day. I can pick them up from school, take them to school. I could do all that stuff. Yeah, not every day because I still got to I still got to film and
for sure
record and stuff. But I don't got to miss any of that, and that means more to me than money, bro. Like just being there because like my dad, like not to get too personal, but wasn't there my whole life. Like he's a good dad and all, but he made some decisions to where he was away for a little bit. So, I know what it's like not to have both parents there, and so I don't want that for them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
do you think that puts like a chip on your shoulder to like be somebody?
Yeah, I definitely want a better. I want them to have a better upcoming than I did for sure. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and so what would be your goal for your kids ultimately? Like if you, I guess I'll phrase it this way: is like, let's say what position would you want to be in where like you can consider yourself, oh, I did everything that I could do to give these kids the best life possible. Like, do you have like some type of like version of success for yourself?
I don't want to spoil them. So like they have like everything they need. Like I don't want to just give. I like my daughter's at the point now to where like if she wants something, I'll give her some chores. She got to work for it. She got to earn it. I want them to grow up and be able to be happy and respect us and know that we worked every day. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to see I'm working, like because I'm not a 9-to-5 person anymore.
Right.
So, but I want them to, as long as they. That's a good question. What is?
I guess you would say like, if they can live comfortable, and have everything they need.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, me as a parent, like I know I did my job. If they can grow up, respect themselves, respect others, value work. Know that you got to work for everything. Like they don't. Right. I don't want my daughter because like. I don't want her to grow up and have to depend on another person. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or my son depend on another person. I want them to be able to go get it themselves.
Right.
I want if they don't want to do college, cool. I don't think we're in a time anymore to where college is a necessity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's definitely different avenues. I think you're a great example of that. And I'm really curious about like your values too. Like growing up, you mentioned like your dad wasn't really in your life, and obviously you end up at this point for a reason. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who can get a victim mentality or and not be comfortable with themselves or not, feel like they can get to where they want to be. But it seems like you are very much so on your way to doing that. So my question is, what values did you have growing up that were like instilled in you or that you kind of learned throughout life, like before Rob Dunphy like really started to happen? What like on your upbringing, like in your upbringing, what would you consider like some values that you've had? Because I know you were talking about, I know you mentioned like for your kids, like to work for what you get, and like taking opportunities. Like, would you consider that like something you've like, kind of instilled in yourself as well?
For sure. I've always wanted to just better myself, be better than I wanted to. That's a tough question.
Yeah, I asked the deep questions on this pod, man. I should have prepped you. Should have prepped you.
Just having a hard time coming up with an answer, really.
Well, like, so when you were growing up, like, I guess I'll phrase it this, like, when you were growing up, do you have siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah, how many siblings do you have?
3.
3 siblings?
I'm the oldest.
You were the oldest?
Yeah.
So you were the big brother?
Yeah. Like, loyalty's big to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you, like, and I'm definitely, I forgive a lot. And it's probably my biggest downfall is I forgive and I let you back in. But it's now it's like I'm to the point to where I've lost friends over a couple dollars, and it's just like, it's not the principle of the money. I don't care about a couple bucks. You know
it's
what I mean?
The incentive behind it.
Yeah, it's like how you did it, the story behind it. So I'm big on like respect and all that stuff. Like, if you're doing me wrong or my family wrong, I don't want nothing to do with it. Like if you say you robbed my boy or something, just saying,
right?
Like you robbed a friend of mine, you're dead to them, you're dead to me,
right?
Like I'm big on that.
You know what's funny too is like you are in a very unique position with yourself where you are working with these great, these different companies and organizations. But at the end of the day, you're a dude from Philly. Like you're as Philly as they come. And like I've noticed that when I met you at the when I did your party, like your friends are like, you're a Philly dude. Like I kind of had to like realize that, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like when someone who's like in the spotlight or someone who's really building a name for themselves, like you have to remember they're human beings too. Like
Yeah.
they're, you know what I mean? Like, and you're like a Philly guy.
Yeah, so you only see what on social media.
Exactly.
So everyone thinks of me of like, so growing up, like late teenage years, early 20s, I drank, partied like everybody else did. Now I'm at the point to where like I barely drink. I don't even like drinking at the tailgates all the time.
Really?
But I feel like I have to get into character sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
I gotta warm up, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's true. Like I'll be down there like the Washington game. I went with my girl. We had front row seats and everyone's like, take your shirt off. And I'm like, I'm a diehard fan, like in general. Like I could tell you every player on the depth chart.
Yeah.
Like I want to watch the game like, sometimes.
You want to enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
like
sometimes like it's crazy. Like I have fun with this all. I love it.
Yeah.
I take pictures. I don't turn nobody down, dude.
Yeah.
Because I know because I'm a fan of the Eagles. So like if I see like a player, I want to get a picture with them. People are asking me for a picture, so I kind of like look at myself like that. But I know I'm not as big as them. But people are wanting to take pictures with me, and I couldn't imagine my son going up to somebody like, "Yo, can I get a picture?" And they're like, "Nah, beat it."
Right.
And I'm like, so I stop and take pictures with literally every single person.
Yeah, and people say like never meet your idols, but you know, there's some times where like if you hone in that and you internalize that and realize that I don't want to ever be that example. I want to have a great experience with everyone I take a picture with, whatever. I know it can be time consuming and take some energy out of your day, but at the same time, something I think about too is like, you know, is like, what's the alternative? It's like, oh, I could be working on a job that I'm not happy with. Like it's like a blessing almost, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you mentioned loyalty is huge for you.
Yeah.
When you know, you got the crazy amount of love you did in Green Bay, and you really started to turn your career truly began. Did you find loyalty to become even more important? Because like I'm sure you have people coming all over like, oh, I haven't talked to you in 5 years, but yo, dude, like you know what I'm saying? Like, was that something that like you kind of had to like internally like check with yourself?
So I always see people showing me like love, and I sometimes I could tell it's like fake love because I see everything, but I sit back and I see everything. I'm not all up in the mix. Like I see, I'll go through comments and I'll see people like not that shares mean everything, but there's some people that are close to me. They don't ever post like share any of my stuff.
Yeah,
and it's just crazy to me. It's like I'll go on their page. They have like 40 shares of all these famous people like Drake. There's examples of Drake, all these other dudes, like all these other artists. I'm not an artist or nothing, but they're sharing all these posts, and I'm sitting there like, I'm trying to make it too. I'm out here grinding.
Yeah.
My videos, they might not be great or whatever, but I'm trying to do something with them. A share could go a long way. Someone else could see it, they get a bunch of shares.
Right.
And that's just something to me. But at first I would get mad over it. Now I'm just like, I don't even check that shit. Like,
yeah.
But no, yeah, there was definitely a lot of fake love from the beginning.
Right.
And I didn't feed into it. My mom told me right from like, she knows, she's like, I know you're not gonna, but like, just don't forget where you came from. And I'm like, I never would. Like,
right, absolutely.
I never would. Like,
I
know I would.
Right, exactly.
Like, I just know who I am and how I am, and I'm still like with the same people all the time. Like,
yeah,
I don't go out there and like tell my boys, nah, I can't. This dude got 50,000 followers, bro. I gotta go chill with him. No, if you want to chill and stay play poker, that's what we're doing tonight.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I think
that's who I am, and that's how I'll always be.
And I think that's become a part of your brand too, because you are super authentic, and I think people can see that, and that's why people love you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I honestly forget who told me, but this is I literally like internalize this so much. Is like someone told me that the same people you meet on the way up are the same people you meet on the way down. And if you are just genuine on your come up, and let's say something in your life happens, and you're not burning bridges, you're not thinking you're better than anybody. Like, if you need them for something, they're gonna help you. Like, life has a crazy way of like checking you and putting you in places that you might not feel comfortable. Was there ever a time in your life where you felt uncomfortable and you had to really challenge yourself?
A lot. Like, so I don't know exactly what you mean by uncomfortable, but I'll give an example of just like there's times like I gotta take my shirt off.
Yeah.
So like I'm not like always in like a rowdy mood like to just like take my shirt off and take pictures and act up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there was times like I've been up at parks like in their sports book or in like where people are eating. And I'm saying, you want me to just take my shirt off and just act a nut? Like, bro, people are in here eating with their families and shit. Like, I've been uncomfortable in situations like that. Like, and I get like, So there was a time like I went through like bad anxiety like with this stuff like right after COVID. I'm like getting back into the mix. I'm like, it was just different because I was so in the mix of everything. I was just flowing with it, and then it stopped for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then I start doing events again, and I come out, and I'm just like worried. Like I'm not worried about what people think, but I'm sitting there looking. I see people taking pictures, and I'm getting like real bad like anxiety, and I've never like dealt with anxiety. I was like this weird feeling, and I told my girl, she's like, "You sounds like you got bad anxiety," and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I thank God I came over. I didn't take no medicine or nothing for it, but
Yeah.
I just told myself like, who cares? Like, so I eventually went back
Yeah.
out, but no, there's definitely been times where I felt uncomfortable.
That's
for
interesting.
Sure.
You never really think of that stuff, especially when like, because you just assume that everyone's just like someone like yourself is like it's fine. You know, if you don't realize.
So at first too, like they had me doing things like I hate reading from a script, and when I had to read a script and I see people watch us film, I start to get frustrated, and I'm like a hothead, and I start getting angry and I can't get the line down, and people are like giggling, but it's like they're not laughing. Now I look at it like at first I thought they were like clowning me, so now I'm like feel like they're making fun of me, but they're really not. Like, because I laugh when people like mess up. Like it's funny. It's just funny. Like, but it's not really that deep of how I was taking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the less serious you take those situations, people could be laughing because they think it's funny. Like
I was ready to quit, dude. Like,
Really?
I really was. I was like, dude, I told him like, look, I don't want no more scripted shit. Take me out of anything scripted. So now we found like I could do stuff scripted now, but we found a
medium.
not even that. We found like a way to help me with it. So he'll read it to me, and I read it right back, and I pretty much nail it every single time.
Hell
So
yeah.
I don't sit there and study it because that's
Right.
what I was doing, and I was fumbling, and I was getting lines mixed up, and I was getting so frustrated. So now it's like, she's like, hey, say Parks is giving away $100 free. So I got to remember that, but they're usually longer.
Yeah.
So I'll spit it right back, and once she says it, I pick it up, I say it right back, and I've been comfortable doing it that way.
That's good. That's awesome. And so I have to ask this too. So like you talked about being uncomfortable in situations. Like, do you like? Okay, so like you're a bigger guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's part of your brand, or do you think that's something you like? Like, do you ever think about like your health in any type of way? Like,
I do.
Yeah.
For sure. So, last year I wanted to try it, and it just gets hard. Dealing with losing weight, it does, and that is my goal. Me and my wife are supposed to start a diet tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy. we really are. She just literally went food shopping.
Diet starts tomorrow.
All this shit home, but I mean, obviously, I don't want to become skinny. I don't think I'll ever be skinny. But yeah, I definitely do want to lose weight. Because at the end of the day, like I said to you, my kids are more important than anything. So I want to be able to be alive, dude.
Be around, yeah.
And be around,
Yeah.
So I do eventually plan on losing weight.
Yeah, I just had to ask. I was curious.
No, yeah, for sure.
You know
It's
what I mean?
definitely something I think about. Like I'm not just sitting here all right, I accept it. I'm going to be this big forever. No, I want to lose weight. I still feel like once I get to a point, I lose weight. I won't be like you said. I will never be your size. So if I can lose 70 pounds or something,
Yeah.
I think I'll be comfortable like that, and I'll be stocky dude or something. But
Yeah.
the tattoos won't shrink or nothing. But
Yeah.
they'll just be a little smaller.
Just
than they
have
are
some
now.
abs on underneath
Yeah,
them all. You
right.
know? So I'll talk about down the line, because obviously you have a business plan and you have a goal for yourself. Where do you see yourself being in 5 years, in terms of your career? Have you thought about that?
I haven't. I mean, I try to, but it's so hard to because in this business, everything changes all the time. I literally have right now. I'm gonna break the news on here.
We got a loft exclusive.
Yeah, I have. I don't know if I should say it right now.
You got come on, big dog.
When does this drop?
Tuesday.
So I have another company reaching out to me. I'm not gonna say what kind of field they're in, but they've been reaching out to me, and they want me pretty bad. And I was talking to somebody that's their marketer, and he's pretty much gave me the number of what they're trying to offer, and it's definitely a lot higher.
Definitely put your kids through school.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what they offer me, and I'm like, wow. So they didn't offer me yet, so we'll see.
So it's a big company.
The Tuesday or Wednesday, yeah, they're not really locally, but they're gonna be local soon.
Okay.
They're in Vegas and they're in Boston. They're well known.
Okay.
well known.
We're gonna crack the code eventually off camera. But I want you to save that moment for when you're ready to announce it.
Yeah, I want to have a big announcement.
But that's cool though. Congratulations for the opportunity.
They told me I had a meeting with them the other day on Zoom. They told me middle of the week this week they'll send over the offer, and
that's
hype. Pretty hype.
That's hype. Let me know when you find that date out. Maybe we can work around dropping it around the same time.
Yeah.
This pod. That'd be pretty exciting.
For sure.
So in terms of, your growth, do you have anything else you want to venture into? Like, is there anything, I know you mentioned real estate. Are you have you started that process yet?
So I bought my first house 2 years ago. It was a fixer-upper. So I have like over $170,000 in equity in my house. So this is technically, it's our home right now, but it's an investment at the same time because next year, I think I'll be in a situation before this news, I was setting myself up to be in a spot to buy another home. And, and I was going to rent this one out.
That's right.
And hopefully pay this house off within like 10 years. And then that's one income that I'll have coming in whenever it's all said and done. And then just build off of that.
That's hype. Is your mom in your life?
My mom is in my life, yeah.
She's a very, you think she's a pivotal part of your life?
Yeah, for sure.
When you were all over the news and you were on all these outlets, what did she say to you?
She was the happiest person in the world. She still is.
Let me ask you this then. How did it make you feel to make your mom proud?
I felt great, but it's like, I know she was just excited for me because she's always said I've always been like the #1 Eagles fan in the world, but it's my mom. You know
right,
what I mean?
yeah.
She don't really know. And she's not on social media like that. So she don't really know that there's like really diehard fans out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure people know more than me, but I mean, I've always like, for myself, don't know how much of more I can become of a fan. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Just like,
it's on your body.
Yeah. Well, not even like saying, I'm that invested. Like I know so much. I read so much about it. Like I just love.
Okay.
I love the game.
If Dunphy could list his favorite sports team, Philly sports teams from top to bottom, how would the list go?
So it definitely fluctuated since I was a kid. Eagles and Phillies were like tied. I would definitely say the Eagles took like a little step above. I mean, the Eagles took a little step above the Phillies. Phil's second, Sixers third, Flyers fourth.
Yeah, seems like Flyers are on the bottom for everyone right now.
Yeah, but, especially it don't help how bad they are. But
they are brutal.
I think just in general, hockey's just fading out of my life. I feel like.
Yeah. Did you always have sports in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you play sports?
Yeah. Not like high school, but yeah.
But like you
yeah,
like recreationally?
I've always played sports.
Yeah.
I've always played baseball. I've always played basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport to play.
Hell yeah.
It's probably my best
That's
sport
what I
too,
grew up.
believe it or not.
Really?
Swear to God.
Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah. No one ever, when I tell them I play basketball, they're like, no way. I'm like, I'm not bad either. I promise I'm not.
We could do some runs.
I need to get
me and my boys play on Mondays and Wednesdays. We could do some runs.
Play like
we play around here. Yeah, my buddy Antonio, he has like a few of his boys, and we'll do some runs. So if
nice.
I'll reach out to you if you're not busy.
Get some cardio. It's not a bad cardio.
Do you have a favorite Philly athlete at the moment?
Just Philly athlete?
So all right. So I guess
I meant like sport wise.
Sports, yeah.
Okay. Damn.
You want to give me a top 3? How about that?
I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. Smitty.
Okay.
Bryce. This is a tough one right here. You want me to say somebody? You looking?
Nah, it don't matter. I just asked you a question. Would you put Jalen in there?
Yeah, I was about to say it's probably hurts.
Yeah,
it probably hurts.
Yeah,
I can't not put him in there. I feel like that's why it's so hard.
I know it's tough. I mean,
and I've been a Hurts guy. Like I'm not gonna say since the draft because I don't think there's many people since the draft.
No,
but since like I was always kind of like when Wentz was having that MVP year, I was Team Wentz. Like I
2017, yeah.
So after the injury, I went to the first game with my little brother. They played the Colts, and I'm like, dude, he don't look right. Like it was wet. But I'm like, dude, and I don't think he ever looked right since. And I don't think it's really all on him. It's a mental thing. Like you tore your ACL, bro. Yeah. It's a hard injury to come back from.
I mean, now
but he just never got it back together, and he was just a crybaby. And
Yeah.
beat it, dude.
Loser mentality.
Yeah, he really straight up is a loser mentality.
And you can't have that in this city at all.
He's soft.
Let me ask you. I want to ask you a question. Because I'm a huge Sixers fan, but it hurts me to say this. Like Embiid, what are your thoughts on Joel Embiid, dude?
All right. So after the playoffs, like that game 7, you know what I'm talking about?
I was at Game 6.
I was all, get rid of this dude, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of him. Get rid of Harden. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just get rid, bro, because Embiid got it, bro. He's a demon.
I know.
Like, what are you doing? Put your big ass down there in the post. I know everyone says it. Like, he wants to be, bro. He has everything any center wants. Like, he has every tool. He can do anything he wants on the court.
Yeah.
But he
wants to sit on the perimeter.
I don't get it, bro.
Yeah.
I don't get it. He's frustrating. I think their best bet is to run it back with the team they got and maybe add a little bit to depth, just because they can't really sign no big names.
Yeah.
The contracts in the NBA are so weird.
Yeah.
Like the Bird contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Afterwards, I mean, I've calmed down.
Yeah.
I usually don't.
You were fired up.
I usually don't post like my reactions right away because I was tight, bro. I was tight. But no, I mean, he's a generational player, dude. He just got it. This got to be the year, man.
I know. He's right. He's literally right there. Like, I was at the Game 6, and like him and Harden just crumbled, like crumbled, and
They scored 1 point in 5 minutes.
It was so sad to watch, dude.
1 point in 5 minutes.
My sister. So I'm a generally chill dude, except when I'm at a sports event, like, and I'm invested.
Yeah.
I'm screaming, yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, cause dude, like, if I don't want to, how long is this fucking podcast gonna be? No,
just go, just go,
dude. I think Embiid's a loser, dog. I think just the way he's like,
damn.
I think he's a loser. He's a loser. I think he's a loser. I love Embiid. I love him. I think he's like probably one of the biggest besides Hurts. Like him and Hurts are the biggest athletes.
He don't care.
I don't think he cares. And I think he wants to victim blame. And you're the MVP of the league. You've been crying about this award for 3 years, and you finally get it, and you can't score in the fourth quarter. That's my issue. Now, welcome to my TED Talk. But dude, that shit made me so.
Go off.
Nah, dude. Dude, that was a really tough series to watch because we had the Celtics, and they usually have our number too. You know.
No, you're 100%. I think that's what it was even more for everybody is, it's the Celtics. They've been our kryptonite since the 80s. Like,
yeah,
we had a chance to finally beat them after they smacked us around 2 or 3 times already. It's going back to Marco Bellinelli days. Like
Bellinelli.
Like, dude, you had your chance.
Yeah.
1 point in 5 minutes. I was more upset about Game 6 after Game 7. That's like, I was just so, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, we shouldn't have been in this moment. We should have ended that shit.
Right.
You take 2 in Boston to end that shit in Philly in Game 6, bro. Like, you did everything. Like, people stepped up when you were hurt.
Right.
Paul Reed, who I do not like.
I
do not like Paul Reed. So mad he's back. He stinks, but anyways, he stepped up Game 1, bro. He got like 12 rebounds in the second half. Like, people were out there balling for you, bro. You weren't on the court, and it's like, and that's every year you're not available.
Yeah, I still think to this day that the team we had with Jimmy Butler was the best shot we had of winning.
Oh, 100%.
And we lost by
the triple doink, quadruple
doink.
Oh my god.
Let me ask you this. And I know it's. I actually have two questions for you.
I don't even I know Sixers basketball starting right up after football, but I'm not even looking forward to it, bro.
I know it's tough.
Just give me to the playoffs.
It's every single year.
Every year I say I'm not getting invested, and I always do.
Yeah.
But I promise I'm trying not to be invested this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try so little. I don't want to go to any games. That's how I
Not
am.
one.
I don't like my son. Keeps telling me he wants to go to the basketball. He don't. He's only 4.
Yeah.
He don't know that they're the Sixers, but he's like, I want to go watch the basketball game. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go. It's like
not today, son.
Yeah, maybe I'll take him to a high school game or something. We'll go watch Ryan.
Take him to a CYO game.
Yeah.
So do you have? So I gotta ask. Also, you mentioned you're a big Phillies guy. Our World Series run. Well, dude, what was going on? During that Bryce Harper,
was a miracle run,
dude.
Bro, I've never seen anyone on a mission like him ever in my life.
Yeah.
I was at every home playoff game besides the World Series. I didn't go to any home World Series games because I was in Houston actually for the Eagles game with my dad, And the game we did try to go to, remember the one game got postponed today?
Yeah.
I was at that game. We were getting ready to go in. And, I went to game 6 in Houston when we lost.
Really?
Yeah, and I've never been intimidated at any stadium in my life until then.
Really?
These dudes, they was all like straight up Mexican dudes. They had like face tats, rapper chains, and I'm like, dude.
You ain't making it home if you.
So Schwarber hit that bomb to go up 1-0, and I was like,
you're like golf class.
yes.
Little golf.
Now, a couple of us high fived, but it's like, and they're like, watch, it ain't over. And I'm like,
Yeah. Think they knew
quiet.
who you were.
I didn't have my shirt off.
Okay.
Bro, I was scared, bro.
Yeah.
I was intimidated a little bit. If we would have won, I probably would have acted up a little bit.
Yeah. You should have.
Um,
Do you have a is there any moment that sticks out to you in Philly sports history that that really stands out to you? Do you have like a favorite Philly sports moment?
to chase out like fake throw to second, or fake throw to first and throw it home to get the run in the World Series.
Yeah.
Definitely up there.
That's a sneaky one. Not a lot of people.
That's one of my favorite. Chase Utley's my favorite baseball player of all time. I got his number tattooed on me.
Really? Utley's the goat.
Utley. The Alshon touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I gotta mention this just because it's the first time I ever took my shirt off at a game, but was the flea flicker touchdown to Torrey Smith to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Right after halftime.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever took my shirt off at a game.
That really?
Yeah, me and my uncle were there, and I'm like, dude, if we score on this drive, I'm taking my shirt off the rest of the game. I swear, like 2 plays later, they did a flea flicker bomb Torrey Smith, and he called it the pylon. I'm
Your
like,
shirt's halfway off already.
Fuck it. Took it off.
Do you feel like it's like when your shirt's off, it's just like the energy around you just gets hype because they just see the tats and they see everything?
Yeah, kind of like down at the tailgate, you've been there, so
Yeah.
everyone's already like in their bag pretty much. But when I come out, I just see people get excited, and it's pretty cool. It really is. People just get excited like they just seen like Jalen Hurts or somebody that they've been wanting to see. I'm not saying I'm as big as Jalen.
No,
Hurts.
but
I'm
you have a presence.
Yeah, people see me and they get excited. I'm like, that's pretty dope. Like I'm bringing energy and happiness to people, so I do like it sometimes.
Right.
Everyone's like, oh, do you get tired of it? Yeah, sometimes it's like at the concert the other day. I was just being myself. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, I really can't.
Yeah.
And I get I guess celebrities probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
They have to because they can't even go to stores. Like, I can because my shirt's not off. So some people, like, you know what I mean? Some people might not notice me, but if it's off, it's like, it's a whole different
Go
ballgame.
time.
Yeah, it's a whole different
Let me
ballgame.
ask, what would you consider your favorite part about this journey you're on, about, having this presence and being able to build yourself and like build a life that like you actually want? Like, what would you say is your favorite part about it?
Motherfucker asks the tough questions.
I know. Sorry.
I like, not to sound cheesy, but I like when my kids see me on TV and like someone records it. Like, that's pretty dope. Like, they get like, I was at, I don't remember what game it was, but it was Washington, the game we lost.
Okay.
I was with my girl.
That was a tough
But
watch.
I had my shirt off some of the game, like just I was forced into it. And I remember, I'm pretty sure that was the game. Was that? I don't think that was the game actually. Whatever, it was one of the games. I took my shirt off, and they sent me a video. You see me like in the background, and my son's pointing, like going nuts, like that I'm on TV.
Oh,
and
really?
that was just really dope.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's probably my answer.
That's cool. Yeah.
If that's like the answer.
Yeah.
Looking for.
No. That's perfect. Your favorite part is that your family can look up to you and see you doing your thing, and like, because that's a cool thing to have, and I feel like we all chase that in a way. People who
I feel like any kid would be excited if their dad was on the TV, but you know what I mean?
It creates it all comes back to when you mentioned you didn't have a father figure in your life really, and you got to be that, and like having your son being able to do that, that's a cool and you earned that shit.
Not to leave my daughter out too, she gets happy too. But the video was my son.
Right, exactly.
Like, he was going nuts, screaming, "There's my daddy!" There, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: is there anyone in your life that you looked up to growing up?
My dad.
Your dad, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Believe it or not.
Why do you say that?
So my dad got locked up when I was 13. But he just always was like still alive. I'm talking about like he's like not here. He's home now. He's doing good.
Right.
But probably my dad for sure. He was just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, it's your dad.
Yeah, it's my dad for one, and just how he was. Like, he didn't. Everyone respected him, and everyone always talked good about him to me. They were like, "Bro, your dad's the man. He's a great person." Like, whenever I was down and out, like, he was always there for me. And I feel like it's when I was like, so when he got locked up, I didn't really truthfully know like who my dad was. I didn't like hang out with him. I knew who he was as a dad to me. So I had mixed like opinions on like who he was, and I thought he was like some like gangster. Like he wasn't. Like he's a good dude. He really is. And I feel like we definitely have a lot of similarities. We look after everyone we're around. Like we have big hearts. Like we put people before ourselves sometimes, where we probably, I guess you should, but I guess sometimes it's okay. Like
it's a balance
not to.
It's a balance for sure. And like you can, I always say that everyone has a responsibility to help someone who needs it. Like if you are in a position where you can help someone, I think you absolutely should. I think it's a part of being a human being. But yeah, there's the saying where you don't want to spread yourself too thin, and you got to fill your cup too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have? I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it. Do you have like an ultimate goal for like who you want to be like known as for your legacy? Like I know you haven't really thought about it much, but like not even as Dunphy 215, but as like a human being. Like how do you want people to look at you, and what do you want people to think of you?
I just want everyone to think of me as like just like a genuine person, really. I don't want people to have like I want everyone to see who I really am. I don't want people to have mixed feelings. Right. Like, oh, he did this, he did that. I always stay true to who I am. That's something I've always done. Like I don't change no matter what. Like you know what I mean? And that's what I want people to see. I was literally thinking about that earlier. Like I really just want the world, or just Philly, whatever, Pennsylvania, people to know who I am. Like I'm not this big jerk off out there ripping fans apart every game. Like I do, but I'm not like a scumbag.
It's so funny because like as a Philly fan, like it's true. Like
I talk my shit, but I don't like if I'm calling you a loser, it doesn't mean
it's
I really
lighthearted.
think you're a loser.
It's lighthearted.
Like I'm just trying to get you mad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
And it's not just opposing fans or players. It's my boys. Like I talk shit to my boys all day. And sometimes my wife, she's like, "Do you think you're a little hard sometimes?" I'm like, building character.
Right. Exactly.
I'm getting them ready for people out there that are gonna really mess with them.
Yeah.
So
you want to bring your people up with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And I always try to give people like motivation, and like I try to be like the big dog. Like I try to really just try to anyway. They're like, "Yo, I want to do this," and I'm like, "Just do it." Yeah. I'm like, "Stop what you're doing right now and just go do that." Like everything else is still gonna be there in a couple months. Just whatever you like. My buddy, for example, he's a cop and he doesn't want to be a cop forever. He's like, "But I don't know something." I'm like, "Bro, just like find one thing." Like I'm like, be a real estate agent or something. Like, just go do something. Yeah. Just go do it, bro. Leave. Like, if you don't want to be a cop, you don't the benefits are great. The money's good, I'm sure. But like, dude, if you don't want to do it, like you're risking your life, honestly, at this point. You really are. Yeah. In this city, it's like,
especially if you don't love it too. And I think
you're going to work every day miserable.
Yeah.
Like
that ain't it. It's not a way to live, especially in this.
There's so much money out there, dude. Just get creative. It's not hard. Like, do you do something and then it's just gonna pick up way quicker than you think, especially if you put all your time and effort into like a regular job. Yeah, things are gonna fall into place.
I think it's huge. I always think you start something and then you ask questions like, how do I make this better? How do I get this? You start being curious. You start asking questions. Your questions get answered. You start seeing results, and then ultimately it builds and builds and builds with consistency and into something great. You know what I mean? Like something that you've been able to build for yourself. What would you say to someone who is looking to get themselves, I guess, recognized, someone who wants to be something, someone who wants to do something significant with their life? Like, what's some advice you would give to them that you've been able to pick up as you're on your way?
Like someone that wants to do kind of like something similar to what I'm doing.
Like, yeah, so like it's not someone who wants to get a stomach tap.
I know what you mean.
I'm busting your balls, but nah, like this, somebody who you know, and I guess you can kind of apply this to anyone. Someone who wants to take a step to something but is scared to do it.
Just do it. Honestly, it's so corny and like, just do it. Honestly, it really is. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Just stop what you're doing. Invest in yourself. Don't care what anyone says. Ask questions. Like, really, seriously.
Right.
Ask whatever you have in mind. Ask. Like,
right.
I'm not good with like inspirational quotes.
Yeah.
It's not me.
You're a Philly guy,
I'm
though.
not.
You're
Like,
just
I don't-
you're like, just get this shit done.
Bro, just make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times like I just said, this contract I got, like, I'm nervous about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to leave, like, whatever, stop whatever else I'm doing. I don't like change, but like at the end of the day, like, I'm up to anything. Like, I'm trying to get it. Like, I want to get up and get after it every single day. And just like, but yeah, content creator, something like that. Like, if you want to do something like that, just write down your ideas. Any idea you have, write it down. Like, put it into the world. Like, don't leave it out there. Like,
Right.
if it's in your head, you don't write it down. Like, you're gonna forget. You know how many times I think of shit and I'm like, that's a great idea. I don't write it down or put it in my notes. I forget it, and it's like, it's gone.
Yeah.
You might not ever remember it again, or if you do, it's too late.
Right.
So
Inspiration comes in waves, and that creates opportunities. And when you let the opportunity slip, then you just gotta wait for the next
look
one.
at it as like a full-time job. Like, all right, say you're working for somebody, and like, I'll give an example: a real estate agent. So, say you're working for somebody and they make you call 50 leads or something. Hey, how you doing? Just letting you know I'm selling houses. I seen your house is up for sale or whatever. Anything. Just call all these houses. Treat it like a job. Like, you're working for somebody and this is what they're making you do. But you're doing it for yourself. Now, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just go out there and just put in the effort like you're working for somebody. Write down what you got to do. Treat it as you're working for somebody and you're going to get your paycheck at the end of the week, but just put the effort in for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
and it's gonna become successful. Like,
Right.
Don't be scared because it's gonna happen.
Jewel, does that sound familiar to you? She's a real estate agent, so I'm
You know what I mean?
gonna connect you guys after this pod. But no, but like, honestly, seriously, thank you for coming on. Like, this was
Thanks for
like,
having me.
it's a great time. I'm excited for everyone to see this, and like I said, like, congratulations on all your success. And like, honestly, like, I was very happy that I was able to, that your wife asked me to DJ, because I was able to, like, before we connected on the podcast, like, I was able to see who you surround yourself with and your family and the kind of person you are, and like, and you're somebody that I want to surround myself with. Like, you're a great guy, great human being, super genuine, and your boys are awesome. They get rowdy, and I love that.
They get it out.
Dunphy, where can they find you on social media?
Dunphy215 on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
Hell yeah, let's get this money.
Let's get it, baby.
Well, bro, I want to thank you for coming on, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode of the pod. I'm Kev Nichols. That's Rob Dunphy. Peace, guys. Peace.